Roger. Copy that. Perimeter secure. 10-4.
Yo, it's Sigma Prepper, where wisdom is the key. We're ready for the future, staying ahead and staying free. When the world goes dark, we won't be shedding a tear. We prep with our minds, never ruled by fear. It's not the list of preps, it's the knowledge we flex. Gaining understanding and solving what's next. No sitting by a fire, eating squirrels on sticks. We'll be navigating chaos using Sigma Prepper's tricks.
In the chaos of survival, your mind is your shield. When it all goes wrong, it's the wisdom revealed. The tech, the knowledge, the smart preparation. When the crisis comes, we're gonna own the situation. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a wolf pack thing.
SHTF, we break it down smart. From the big picture view to the detail in the parts. Drew Law's got you, his knowledge on tap. Real-time strategy, he cuts through the crap. From the high IQs to the tech we choose. We're ahead of the game, we never gonna lose. We stay prepared, never needing to fight. Join Sigma Prepper and we'll make it through the night.
It's seeing the signs, reading tomorrow through intelligent minds. Survival's more than just having a plan. It's about how you act when it all hits the fan. Join our Discord where knowledge is prime. The wolf pack's there for you every time. In the chaos of survival, your mind is your shield. When it all goes wrong, it's the wisdom revealed. The tech, the knowledge, the smart preparation. When the crisis comes, we're gonna own the situation. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a wolf pack thing.
Reject the herd, prepare the pack. We're on a mission, there's no turning back. From crisis to strength, we'll survive the storm. It's knowing you've been able since the day you were born. Survival's an art, we sharpen the blade. We adapt, we survive, we're not afraid. Get yourself comfy for the Sigma Prepper show. The time is counting down and we're nearly good to go. Prepare your mind, cause intelligence is the key. Owning our instincts, we don't freeze, fight or flee. Knowledge is power, it's the ultimate force. No following the herd, we just create a new course. From a single lone woman to a family of 5. Learn from Sigma Prepper and see how you can thrive.
In the chaos of survival, your mind is your shield. When it all goes wrong, it's the wisdom revealed. The tech, the knowledge, the smart preparation. When the crisis comes, we're gonna own the situation. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a wolf pack thing.
Reject the herd, prepare the pack. Click the like button, it's as easy as that. Check the description for the links you need. Follow my socials, subscribe to my feed. Support me on Patreon to gain the edge. Discounts and freebies, just make a pledge. The countdown's done, it's time to go. Sigma Preppers Live, let's start this show.
Welcome everyone. Here we are. Nothing special. Just a quick brief one. I just wanted to say hello. Look, I don't even have my Sigma Prepper cup. That's how unprepared we are. Welcome everyone. I hope you're all well. Cheers to you all. Only a quick one. I just wanted to say everything's all right. I am alive. I've got a lot going on, as you probably imagined. Lovely to see you all. I just wanted to catch up, really. I was going to see if I could do a world record shortest live show. Now, for me, I think the shortest live I've ever done is probably about 2 hours. And every time it's like, I see if I can do it in half hour, right? Just to say hello and touch base and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick update. And it's been a journey, right? I'm not embarrassed, and I haven't been on holidays, like literally. This is like 3, 1.5, 2 hour sessions, if you want to call it that, sitting in the sun doing my world domination planning. So the UK has actually been pretty sunny for the last few days. Obviously, I spent a large formative adult years living in very hot climates, so my skin tends to react extremely quickly to, to the sun. So if you're wondering why Orange Man bad, yeah. I was Orange Man bad before. Now I'm more like Red Man, which is like even worse. That's like proper, we're beyond caution level. That's just like warning is red, isn't it? Anyway, I just wanted to say hello, really, and just let you know I'm all good. There's so much going on in the world right now. I'm making things for you, which are going to help navigate this new world. Oh God, this is the annoying thing, is it's so difficult for me to not say the things that I'm not allowed to tell you. It's so frustrating. It's not necessarily top secret, it's just, you know, I've been working really hard on something, and I've got a lot of people out there that are, at least, I'm not going to say, but I've got a lot of people just waiting for me to create and innovate the next thing so they can just copy it. So I have to make sure, you know, I have to make sure that things are in a completed form before I reveal any secrets as to what I'm working on. I've made that mistake quite a few times as a prepper, especially as a small channel where, you know, for the last 10 days, there's been 8,000 views on my channel. 92% of those views are for people who are not subscribed to the channel. And the channel hasn't gained a single new subscriber out of 8,000 new views from people who have never subscribed. So if you think that's likely or not, let me know in the chat. To have 8,000 views of my library of videos over the last 10 days and not a single new subscriber. So we're still dealing with that. The suppression from you-know-who is extremely frustrating, especially because it's like properly running on fumes for the last couple of years, and it's the Sigma Prepper anniversary. 3 years I've been building this business now, so Sigma Prepper anniversary on the 1st of April. It's extremely expensive time of month for me because everything renews this time of year for Sigma Prepper. So I'm not actually sure if I'm going to be able to afford to renew everything. So if I'm not here in a week or two's time, then you'll know what's happened. I'd hope to be able to at least do a Mother's Day special show or something, and a couple of news reports, and some other bits and pieces I'd like to share with you. But yeah, it's just a proper strug, man. Proper strug. And it's, you know... Anyway, I just feel real bad because I just can't seem to get these things over the finish line, and all the time I'm being held back and suppressed and everything else. In the meantime, it just makes it impossible to even pay the bills and keep online. So anyway, other than that, we're all good in the hood. Talking about good in the hood, check out all the wonderful people in the chat. Sandy live, Sandy's with us. I'll tell you what, like I say, it was a pretty impromptu. I didn't even bother scheduling it or anything like that. I'll tell you what I am going to have to do though quickly. I need to do the chat message so we can see the chat message. Okay, so we should be good now. At least that's the theory. Yes, we're good. Kaza was next in. Lovely to see you, my lovely. I've missed you too as well, big time. And Pedigree Mongrel, one of our moderators. Wheeled Medic as well. All is well as it can be, I suppose. I've definitely got to catch up with you, Kaza, as well. Way overdue. Daily Survival moderator of all moderators. Who else we got? Oh, look at that. What a special guest. Special. Everybody shall kneel and bow before our wonderful Full of Hope. She's the one who gives people hope. Lovely to see you here, Full of Hope. I hope you're well, my darling. I haven't seen you. I absolutely tangoed, didn't it? Yeah. It's bad news. You know, I even tried to play around with the white balance because there's something about these lights are really making it worse than it actually is, like compared to like how it really looks in real life. It's quite odd. There's obviously a glowing thing going on, but Cypher to Cypher. So yeah, it is properly going on at the moment. There's a few shout outs as well. I want to send some love out to Marty. He's had a real tough time lately, and yeah, there's a few people I've really wanted to catch up with last week, Connie being one of them. Really need to catch up with you, Connie. Noah Marie as well. Urban Harvesting in Australia, due to catch up with him as well. So I've basically not really spoken to anyone for about a week, 10 days. I've been locked in my office building stuff. I can't even use my normal microphone here because I'm in full lab prototyping mode, and my lab's over there, but yet it's sprawled all the way across here in front of everything here, so I can't even put my normal microphone in front of me. So I hope it sounds all right, and you can... The levels look like they're all right, but yeah, so I'm just trying to navigate through everything. I'd so want to show you everything that I've got going on here, and you're going to want it before you even know what it does. Oh man, but yeah, it's been I went out for a walk tonight. I was going to take you guys for a, for a walk through the woods. I had a list of things I was gonna update you on that's going on in the world, because it really is hitting the fan in so many different ways. And I've got so many things I'd like to share with you. I think I'm going to have to do something on Patreon over the next few days. The things that I can't, we'll be touching base, let's put it that way. That's all I'll say. But UK Urban Prepper in the house. Great to see you, my man. Band again with us as well. Audio's all right, apparently, so thank you very much. I don't even have my soundproofing thing laid out either, which I'd normally have, so I was a bit worried it wouldn't be as it usually is. But yeah, so I wasn't even going to do a countdown because it's not even worth it for like a 10-minute video. And this is exactly, I've been babbling on, we haven't even talked about anything. It's been 13 minutes, 10 minutes, and I was like, I wonder if I can do my most world record shortest live in the world, which I was aiming for about 20 minutes. Right. So many people manage to do really short videos, but I don't know. A lot of the topics I talk about tend to be quite complex ones that you need to unpack in a kind of systematic way, which is why my Warzone Wednesdays end up being like 80, 90 slides of stuff, right? So, but yeah, thank you to everybody who's recently joined on the Discord server. Really appreciate you joining the Wolfpack over there. Thank you to you. Bod High, the latest member in the house. Thank you for being with us. So go and check out our Discord server. Links in the description below. There's lots going on there. It's a great community, great knowledge base as well. Thank you to the Travelling Sapper as well for your contribution, becoming a member. What a superstar. Random Warrior, member, look. Random Warrior as well. So thank you, really appreciate your support. I don't think I'm actually going to get paid this month from YouTube, which is obviously my fault. I haven't, well, partly, of course, like I say, YouTube's out of 8,000 views in the last 10 days, 92% of those views from people who are not subscribed, and my channel hasn't gained a single new subscriber for over 6 weeks now. It's exactly the same number as it was 6 weeks ago. So we all know how likely that is to be real. Cheers, YouTube. Thank you for, bankrupting me. I really appreciate it. So yeah, it's just a bit disheartening, but I guess it's that's just where we're at. I'm kind of used to it by now. I'll show you mine if you show me what you got. Sounds like an absolute deal. That's a deal. What's up, geezer? Don War Daddy Collier Esquire, Duck Whisperer. Great to see you with us. So yeah, there's too much going on, really. I think is the problem. There's too many things happening in the world for me to just go because otherwise there's not much value in it if you're just listing the shit that's hitting the fan, right? And a lot of people do that, and there is some value to that, particularly for people who don't like to follow what's going on, or they don't have time to follow what's going on. They kind of like it when people like me just sort of give them a synopsis of everything that's been going on in the world in one package. To sort of keep people up to date. A lot of people have said to me that's what they really value about when I do the SHTF global threat analysis reports and things, the intensive ones I used to do. The problem is it's become really sketchy. As you know, it's become really difficult to even report on the news or to even talk about it, right? It's very frustrating, and there's a lot of things that are going on that should be every reason in the world people need to be preparing in so many ways. Financial preparedness, as well as food and energy and everything else that is becoming more and more scarce. Not everywhere in the world, just in the West at the moment seems to be the one under the thing under attack the most at the moment by our government. So it's extremely difficult to navigate for certain nationalities, let's say, around the world. I think America's definitely getting it big time at the moment. Elon Musk is definitely getting it big at the moment. The UK is getting hit big at the moment, as is the rest of Europe. China's looking great. El Salvador's looking great. Do you know what I mean? It's like Mexico's looking great in terms of like economic and cultural and societal and everything like that. It seems like it's only the West really that's having the fabric of society has been just torn and ripped apart and frayed as much as possible so it can never be stitched back together again. This is very much uniquely a Western thing, as I've talked about before. And a lot of people have tried to deny. A lot of people have very much a local view. They don't have much of a global view of things. So they sort of exist within their bubble. I'm sure you have colleagues and family members and friends similar. They watch their local news. They got no idea what's going on in other countries. And I think part of the reason for that is because they don't have an interest, because they don't see how that affects them in their lives where you're living right now, right? But believe me when I tell you, everything is connected and everything is for a reason and everything is not by accident, right? And so if you feel like your government is doing stuff that doesn't really make a lot of sense and it seems really, really unintelligent, let's say, then it's not because it's unintelligent, it's because there's an ulterior motive and plan behind it. There is no such thing as an accident when it comes to things like you know, government actions and stuff. They know exactly what they're doing and why. And a lot of people seem to be under this impression that their governments around not around the world, their Western governments are doing things that seem incompetent. Believe me when I tell you it's not. This is the same plan as I came across in 2004. When I first started trying to wake people up back in 2004, there was a reason for that. With what I learned at the time. And I was reasonably convinced then that sounded viable as to what the plan was. But over the last, 20 years that I've been doing this, when every single thing you were trying to tell people over the years is going to happens sequentially exactly as it was highlighted to me back in 2004, it would happen. Believe me when I tell you, none of it is a coincidence, none of it is an accident, none of it is incompetence, and none of it is unintelligence, right? It's not intelligent either, but it's not an accident. So it's not going away. You're not stopping it. No protest is going to stop it. No video moaning about things is going to make it stop. I really wasn't going to get into this. I was just going to say hi. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, it's just really difficult for me to divulge. I was on a lot of people who know me from back in the day. I was on a very famous radio show for a while, talking about, truth of stuff. I hate that word, but that's what it was. We're talking like 2008, sorry. And then a further radio show, Truth Frequency Radio as well, I was on in about 2013, 14. And I listened to some recordings that I've got, that I was sent actually, of my shows from way back in like 2009. And this is kind of what's made me it's just so frustrating because I can't even talk about it all. But the point is that everything I was talking about then is in place now. So the things that I was trying to convince people of in 2009 on this radio show is exactly the same things is in play, not happening, but in play now. Look at Full of Hope being an absolute babe. Thank you so very much. Buy Silver Britannias and food. Absolutely. Let me give you a love heart and a like heart as well. Thank you, Full of Hope. It's lovely to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. I did miss you on the last show or two. So it's lovely to have you back, Full of Hope. I think things have been well with you. So yeah, it's just kind of it's very frustrating because there's not a lot of point in me talking about the stuff that I tried to wake people up to back in 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way up till about 2019. And then COVID kicked off, but I played that quite well. As in, I predicted that in January or December, I think it was. I did the first video in 2019. It wasn't called COVID then. It was a bacterial pneumonia. Anyway, and it wasn't even that. So it's been a really tricky 20 years, let's just say. And I've had some things recently that have really put things into perspective for me. When you look at things that I was talking about so long ago. I I notice as well that this video is being properly throttled back from a bandwidth point of view as well. I've just checked my internet and it's absolutely fine. So if you find it, let me know. If band again, that is part of it. There's 3 other things that go along with that. 3 other things that go, there's 4 things in total that are all part of the same thing, and the thing that you mentioned that I won't mention out loud is just one of those 4, but they are all interlinked. I don't even anyway, that's not even what's important, right? It's just been interesting for me recently to reflect on that after listening to a couple of my radio shows from back in the day. And the stuff I was talking about then, the stuff I was trying to warn about then, and why it was going to happen, when it was going to happen, and what would bring it around. And then, and I listened to that. It was like 2 hours long, and I listened to that. It was about 4 of them, 4 episodes out of like 60 something, right? And I listened to like maybe 2.5 or something, and it was just like, oh man, this is horrific. And it's actually very frustrating. I've been in a little bit of a frustrated place because I realised that it's been a complete waste of time. Is it a waste of time? Yes, because it's here already anyway, and it's exactly as I said it would play out. It's so annoying. Because I don't feel like I've done what I should have done. I'm not prepared. Yeah, I haven't had the budget. What I should have been doing is doing anything I could to generate an income, rather than trying to build businesses that just end up getting censored, held back, banned, kicked off, and destroyed and sabotaged. Do you see? So when you look back at it all and you think, you know what? It's so annoying to hear what I was talking about back then, and then now to be literally living in that thing that I was so fearful that we would end up in if people didn't respond and react. And here we are anyway. You know what I mean? It's really difficult to explain, but it's so annoying and frustrating. So yeah, I've just been burying myself in, burying myself in some of the product development I'm doing for Sigma Prepper. Don't forget, we've also got the Sigma Prepper Wolfpack report, which will be, if I can afford to, embarrassingly enough, because my Wolfpack report is actually quite a costly thing that I've built. It's all completely custom and stuff. And the sort of, hold on, let me just, sorry, I'm just getting the link up. I'm not even sure I put the link in the description of this video, but essentially, the Ultimate Wolfpack report, I launched a few weeks ago, at the beginning of the month, which is the Sigma Prepper. It's free. Probably nobody else would do what I'm doing for free. As time goes on, you'll see why. But anyway, it's completely free to join. Please do so. And if I can afford to do it, then I will on the 1st of the month is the plan every month, right? But like I say, there is a cost to me, which obviously, because I'm not getting any return on anything from Sigma Prepper at the moment, plus I'm not getting paid any money this month from YouTube, it won't hit the threshold. Last month I got $97 for the month, and so this month it hasn't quite hit the threshold of £60 sterling. So yeah, totally. And I spent so much money doing this that I didn't have, yeah, and time for everybody, and and I don't even know if I'm going to even afford to run it now. So it's like, fuck me. Anyway, but go and get yourself, what do you call it, on there. I'll bung the link in the live chat. Get yourself, thank you, Day Survival. Looks like she's on it with the links. The links in the live chat. Ethan in the house. Bloody hell. Feels like there's no point in trying to open people's eyes, I hear. Bloody hell, Ethan. What a dude. So lovely to see you, my man. I hope things are well with you. Oh, I'd love to catch up with you and see what you're up to. Well, who was I talking about you the other day? Was it Sandy? Was it you, Sandy? And I was like, I wonder what's going on with Ethan at the moment. I looked see if he'd done any videos, and there was no videos. And she was like, oh, let me check. And she looked and couldn't. And I was like, I hope he's all right. And here you are. So how weird is that? What a dude, man. I mean, Ethan knows what I was up to in 2020. He was there, man, in like January. So good to see you. I hope you're well, my man. And it's lovely to hear what you're up to and how life's treating you and things. And, you know, if I'm just trying to catch up with the chat. Thank you, everyone, for thanking those who are hoping to keep the lights on and the internet connected. I'm going to keep doing this as long as I possibly can until YouTube finally destroys this business to the point where it can't carry on. But I refuse to give up until, you know, one of those two things happen. So I'm going to keep pushing through as I'm trying to, but like I say, it's very difficult. I have no full-time job. I'm not on any benefits of any kind. Because my wife has a part-time job. So just because my wife has a part-time job, believe it or not, and we have a child, I'm not eligible for any benefits at all. Yeah. So when I say I'm not, anyway, I ain't even getting into that. Fuck me, check that out. Sorry. We got proper pink action going on, man. Is it a sticker? DSEC UK, thank you so very much. Look at that. 50 foldable sheets, man. You got no idea how that's going to make a massive dent in trying to keep this channel online through next month. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate you, man. I don't even know how I can even thank you enough. And it's annoying that the sticker ones don't come up on here. The actual super chats do, but the sticker ones, I looked into it the other week and there's no way to force it come up. Sorry, for some reason, my iPad, which is my monitor here, it's like really, really bad quality. It's almost like there's no internet or something. Let me know if you're experiencing the same thing. But thank you so much, DSEC. That's so very, very generous. I mean, thank you so much. God, it makes me so upset. It shouldn't make me upset. I know it's the opposite reaction to what people think, but it is. I'm so sorry. Thank you so very much. Everyone give DSEC UK a massive, massive thank you, man. Thank you so very much. Don't give up hope. It's people like you that help me maintain hope. And this is the problem. It's supposed to be me giving to all of you. That's the biggest frustration for me. And I get put into this situation. I try so hard. I do everything I can to build the best I can build for people. You know, this channel and the products that I developed and all the free stuff I try and do for everyone, even though I'm the one who doesn't even have a job, you know? And it's very frustrating for me when I can't give to you. That's the whole point of doing this channel, is to help other people to prepare and to understand how to prepare rather than just, oh, here's a list of stuff. It's about the concepts and the mindset and the, you know, the details really on things. And I guess it just frustrates me when I don't feel like I'm in a position to give back the way I really need to and want to, because I'm so financially restricted. And I think this has been one of my changes in perspective recently, in terms of, I think, one of my big fails as a prepper has been I've never really had any financial preparations. I've never had any investments. I don't have any pensions. I don't have any assets of any kind. I don't have any savings. Do you know what I mean? And I think nowadays financial preparedness is probably more important than anything else. And I think the problem I've had through my life and my upbringing and my experiences traveling the world and things is that I guess it's I guess I've always had a really bad relationship with money. Not in terms of, oh, I'll just spend it on nothing like that. I mean, as in, it's always seemed like an evil thing to me. This is going to sound crazy, but it's like an evil type of a thing. And I've always seen it as being a toxic thing in some ways because of how it gets used by people in toxic ways. And I think I've had to realign my relationship with money to just accept the fact that it's a tool, and it's a very useful tool, because really one of the things that join us together as the wolf pack of preppers and things, one of the things that really makes us kind of like in the same group, I guess, is the fact that we really like freedom. Yeah, and we really appreciate freedom. I know I certainly do. And this is the big driving force between many people, I find, is that their biggest frustration is the lack of freedoms. And I've come to realize that really financial freedom is the most significant form of freedom you can possibly have. And it's the one form of freedom I've never had. Do you understand? And I think that's part of the problem. I think if you've grown up with money, if you've come from like a rich family or something like that, you have a much different relationship with money because, I mean, I've seen it before where there was this study done, and they were saying that people who grew up in a family where they were witness to arguments about money in the house, where your parents were arguing about money because they never had any money, the children grow up with a really toxic relationship with money. They don't like it. It's like if you get money, you're scared of it because it causes arguments and things. Do you know what I mean? And I think there's some good psychology behind that, right? I don't think it's... When I watched that research report, I thought, you know what, that's funny. I wonder if that is the thing, because that was certainly the environment I grew up in. I'm sorry, I don't even know why I'm getting into this. This isn't even what I was supposed to be, a 10-minute video just to say I'm sorry I haven't been on for a couple of weeks. It's been a really difficult struggle getting things up and running, keeping all the fucking lights on, and just wanted to explain myself to everybody. So, sorry, let's get back to the chat. Okay, so there's D6. In a weird way, I missed the Sierra and the live streams, innit? Me too. Me too. And this is the thing, even how it's changed since... Fuck me, is that another one? It is as well. Ethan in the house. And look, when you look at his beautiful, beautiful face. That's a new profile photo, Ethan. You're such a dude, man. I wish you lived in the UK or I lived in America so I could give you a proper man hug, man. Yeah? Proper man hug is what you need. I mean, you might disagree and say the last thing I want from you, dude, is a man hug. But tough, you're getting one. Thank you so much, Ethan. I love you, man. He's been, like, for those that don't know, Ethan G was there, like, basically keeping the show alive. He's been a live guest on my show and all sorts of stuff. I mean, he's a super successful guy. He's, like, great entrepreneur. You know, I have a lot of respect for Ethan, and he's created a couple of channels, and, you know, he knows how difficult it is himself, you know, with doing the YouTube thing. And he pushed through so well himself. So it's so lovely to see you, Ethan. Thank you so very much. And look at all the respect. Man, thank you so much. It's craziness, man. I just feel guilty. This is the problem. Can you cash out of crypto if I send you some? Yes, I think I've still got... Yeah, I've got my Coinbase still, because I had to cash all mine out last year to literally to pay my internet bill. I only had like $218. But I had $218 of crypto. I mean, there was like 750, but it was like the worst possible time. It had gone down, 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 down. And then it got down to... you know, it was just the worst possible time. I've never made any money with cryptos, although I got into it from a more developer point of view. When it was hot, back in about 2015, 16, I think, I was doing, you know, making stuff. But I never really made any money out of it. And then I think it was probably last year sometime. And I was so desperate, I couldn't pay the internet bill, and it was going to get cut off. And my son had lots of stuff to do. I thought, I can't have the internet turning off on my son. And I had like $218. And by the time, with all the shrapnel, by the time I'd grouped it all together and got it into my thingy-bob, I think it was something like, it was like £105 or something. And my internet bill was like 89. It's so pathetic. It's not even funny. Oh dear. But yeah, man, it's just, it's embarrassing. Anyway, thank you so much, Ethan. But yeah, I mean, in terms of, I think actually, is it on sigmaprepper.com, isn't it? /donations or something, is it? Yeah. Oh no. Or is it support? I don't know. I think it's in the description of this video. There's a link to, and that's got like crypto addresses and that on there. I think it's in there anyway, is it? Please follow me. Please support me. Oh, website, support links, donate. God, I don't even know the URL of my own website. How bad's that? Or at least the / of it. But yeah, that goes here. And then, yeah, there's lots of options and stuff. I don't think I've ever had... Do you know, I think I had one Bitcoin Cash donation of £6.53. £6.53. I don't know who that was, but thank you. Like maybe 2 years ago, a year ago or something. Oh dear, but thank you so very much. I'm super taken back. Look, there's Urban Harvesting. I was just talking about him earlier. You look like the sun has been kind to you. Yeah, do you know what? It's really weird white balance thing as well. I had to play around with it to try. It was like really like orange man bad. And I've only had like 3 days in, not 3 days in the sun, like 3 occasions over the last week and a half of being maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, just doing my research and planning and the stuff that I'm building for you guys in the background, which I'm hoping I can get finished before everything gets shut down. But so yeah, Urban Harvesting, I hope things are well with you though, my man, because I know your missus went away for a long time. And back in the day, live streams with Baz and Ethan and Ty, innit? Wow, man. It's funny because I really missed that as well. You know, what's happened to Funky Prepper? He's back but different. Yeah, I think that's kind of to be expected. Lovely to see you, Jack. I hope things are well with you. I think he's doing what I said to people when I did those videos where people asked me what's happened to him, and I gave my prediction as to what I thought, and then obviously that ended up being, in fact, exactly the case. But so it's kind of not surprising that the content's changed slightly. I mean, that was the whole reason why it was the heat in the first place was, you know, it's like one of them topics, isn't it? You know, and I think, you know, I think he's done well. I think Funky Prepper's done well just to come back and get straight back into it. Fair play, as far as I'm concerned, right? And, you know, with the new direction, although it might not be as exciting, it might not be the sort of thing that people who have been following him want him to talk about. It's just the reality of the situation, isn't it, right? It's a struggle for everybody. You can't do or say anything anymore. Well, you can, but not if you're in the UK or in Europe somewhere. Everywhere else in the world's just fine, but yeah, it's kind of I'm feeling happy tonight, so please join me all in the chat. Lovely to see you, Don. Thank you for being such a great supporter. Where's I'm just sorry. Oh god. So we've got the Wolfpack report coming out hopefully in the beginning of yeah, see, look, YouTube's doing it again with the whole streaming quality tonight, even though I've got green bars all the way on my side. So it's really interesting to see what they're doing still. I'm just so annoying, man. Why can't they just leave me alone? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what he's doing here. 20-minute mark, I'm back again listening. Shit. So I'm like 10 minutes too late. Is that what you're telling me? Have I been streaming 10 minutes too long? Where are we looking? 39. You see, I literally cannot do it. That's it. I am incapable of doing any live show that's less, it's not even a show, going live for less than 30 minutes. Because it's now 39 minutes I've been babbling about. And it's nothing that I've said is anything to do with what I was planning to talk about. So I do apologise. It's just not really all good here, my man, because we're due to catch up big time, Urban. Let me just sort the zoomy out. 2 hours before the airport closed for the cyclone, we were all good, no damage, and Ishazal was preparing. Oh, check it out, Ethan G in the house. No fucking way. Look at Ethan G in the house. I don't even, if what Ethan's saying there is true, I'm scared to even fucking look, man. I love you, dude. You're such a geezer. It's not even funny. We've got to catch up at some point, man. I'd love to hear what's going on in your life, dude. I really would. Like I say, I was talking about you just the other day, wondering what you were up to, and then like here you are. It's weird. Maybe I manifested you into existence. And look at Purple Flurple. I just mentioned her the other day. So I said I got to give Purple a call tomorrow, which was today, and I didn't. And here you are. And it's well late, honey. Are you all right? It's lovely to see you, Perps. I wasn't sure if you were going to be in tonight, and yet here you are. Yeah, I mean, that's amazing as hell if what Ethan's saying is the case, and Ethan has a history of doing things that he says he's going to do. He's one of those geezers. Oh, man. It's, yeah, it's kind of crazy, you know? And this is a big part, you know, a big part of what makes... It's just a big part of what makes this, I don't know, I don't want to call it industry, but this kind of thing, you know, where I'm not even sure how I even describe it. I'm so sorry. I'm so taken back and lost for words. Which everyone's going, oh, I've never known that of you, to be lost for words, and here we are. I don't even want to look. I promise you, because I'm like, I already feel like I want to cry. So, what I'd really, it would be lovely if people could, the Wolfpack report, Daily Survival. Did I not even put the link in the description? So I've just launched my Ultimate Wolfpack report, which is the, it's like a monthly magazine style newsletter. And I just launched that at the beginning of this month. And the first newsletter, the email that you've received already, by the way, that's not the newsletter. That's just the onboarding welcoming email, right? Like I said, I developed my whole custom email system that I've been developing for a while, just so that I don't have to pay MailChimp charges, right? But thank you to everybody who's become a part of that. And like I say, on the 1st of April, which is Sigma Prepper's birthday, right? I always start my business ventures or new products on the 1st of April, is what used to be New Year's Day, before they messed about with it. So that's the idea. We have the ultimate live show that we do, the ultimate prepping show, which we do on the 1st of the month as well, where we have the prepping quiz and everything else, and we have the full-on, all the segments, like 2-hour monster sesh. And then at the same time, theoretically, around the 1st, 2nd, 3rd area is where I'll be launching the first newsletter on a monthly basis. So that's basically the plan. That's theoretically, you know, what... Oh, I've got all sorts of clip popping off here. Oh, sorry. I just got a notification to say, I wonder what that noise was. It's like someone, it was just a notification to say newsletter, Wolfpack report subscriber. So, sorry, I was just like, why is that? Why is my Slack window popping up? Wow. So yes, thank you very much for supporting the channel and for getting yourself sorted out on the Ultimate Wolfpack report. I'll be hopefully getting something out there. I've already kind of done the first newsletter to get things going. Ready to go. I've just got to put the main deets in there when the time comes. So I'm feeling kind of prepared around that. I did a lot of work up front behind the scenes, where I was like off for like a couple of weeks. That was what I was building. So yeah, it's been a real, thank you so very much, Ethan. You're such a superstar, man. I'm telling you, like, owed for life. Yeah. I owe you for life. I know you feel like you felt that way about me in 2020, but I owe you for life for 2020. Big time, right? This is why. And there's so much as well I want to talk to you about, of other stuff that you know, that I know, you know, I know, you know. It's not, that I can't say out loud, right? So definitely, Ethan, promise me we'll catch up and just reach out. I mean, Discord's a great way as well. So I love you, man. Seriously. Proper, yeah. So everyone, I need everyone to send out some super energy, sort of love vibes, health vibes, right, as much as possible to Ethan, yeah, for your super chat, and also DSEC UK. I really appreciate it. Full of Hope as well, keeping the channel alive. Thank you so much, Full of Hope, for what you've done as well with the YouTube membership gifting that you did. Just as a collective Wolfpack here, I'm just so proud of what we've built. And to be honest, having you guys around, and just having you guys to bounce the ideas off, and just having you to do these things for, is kind of rewarding enough, right? And that's my frustration, is not being able to do the things that I want to do for you. But people like Ethan, people like Full of Hope, people like all of the VIP Patreon members that are supporting me on Patreon are the people who make it happen and help me to do that. Yeah? Like DSEC, for example, DSEC's donation today, even though I won't get that until next month, but this literally pays for everybody to get their newsletter. I know that's pathetic, but that's what we're down to. So this is like proper team effort, man. I'm so thankful and embarrassed and everything all at the same time. I honestly, I've got so much love for you all, man. So thank you so very much. And again, I was only planning to be, I was only planning to be live for like 10 minutes, and here we are. It's been like nearly 47. I clearly am incapable of doing a short live stream. I get taken way back by you guys. You're such a wonderful bunch. I want to send some love out to Purple Flurple as well, because although she probably doesn't want me saying fuck all, but she's having a pretty rough time right now. And she's spending the time she can with JD. Those who know will know. And I just can't think of anything worse. And I know people like, we've had a lot of people who've lost loved ones as part of our group. Robert McNamara lost his very much loved dog that he had for many years. Noelle Marie before that. And we've got, yeah, it just makes it real. Do you know what I mean? It's, and this is the problem. I have such a sense of, bonding with a lot of you that you'll never know. I'm one of these guys who gets super attached real quick to people, and I'm a super empath kind of thing. I wish I wasn't a lot of the time. I wish I could be more selfish, but I don't regret anything I've ever done. I don't regret all the times I've helped people with nothing in return, even though I've had nothing myself. I still would rather get to the end of my life and feel like I've had no money, I've not had any sort of financial success, but at least I've had a bunch of people around me that love me and I love them, or we've helped each other and I've helped them. Honestly, I can't think of anything better, and you can't really buy that with money at all. But what money can do, as I said, is about me realigning my relationship with money, rather than seeing it as some toxic, evil, capitalist, horrible thing. I mean, I come from like high-level corporate business and entrepreneurship and sales and marketing background. So you think, how can you not? But I never was. I was never hungry for money, even as a account manager, a board level sales guy. For me, I was just competitive to be the best in the company. Yeah, that was what I strived for. And when you do that, the money kind of works for itself, right? I've never been motivated by money, which is a good thing because it means you can't be manipulated by it. I know so many of my friends who have been completely and utterly manipulated and scammed because of they want to get rich quick and all this kind of stuff. There's no such thing, man. Yeah. And so because I've seen so many people come unstuck, I guess I've always been like, I'm so glad I'm not super motivated by money. But like I say, I need to change that, because I need to accept the fact that if I don't do what I need to do to generate an income, then I can't keep this channel alive. I can't keep my website hosting up. I can't keep my domain names renewed. I can't keep the internet connected. And I can't keep the electricity on or pay for my software license. There's just the reality. No matter how much we don't like the way that the world has become this thing, if you're not making money, then you're you're nothing and you're just squashed into the dirt, right? Whereas back in the day, money wasn't a thing. It was like you lived in tribal community type things, hunter-gatherer stuff, and everybody just clubbed together. And there's still societies around the world now in places, right, where the money isn't a thing. They just live in a village, and if somebody needs a house, then the villagers get together and they build a house, yeah, for the person. It's like a traditional thing, right? I mean, there are communities, you know, Africa, some places in Southeast Asia, there are communities that literally still live like that. They don't run on an economic basis the way we do. They live in communities like super homogenous, do you know what I mean? When a couple gets married, the rest of the villagers group together and build the married couple a house, yeah. And although it seems that it's fantastical to just dream about, you know, how lovely it would be if we all lived like that, and humanity went back to that, yeah. And I say back to that because, you know, that's how it was. But the reality is just that's not where we are. So it doesn't matter how much I wish and hope that to be the case. The reality, the brutal reality is that if you don't have sheets, I mean, the UK, not having sheets used to be illegal. It really did, yeah? It used to be illegal to be poor. I think it was the 1600s or the 1800s? If you didn't have a certain amount of money, let me know if you've heard about that. It's well documented, right? It's actually been illegal, and you could be put in prison for not having money, for being poor. It wouldn't surprise me if it comes back round to that, right? Oh. So yeah, it's been quite an interesting couple of weeks of enlightenment, I suppose, in a way for me. Not enlightenment, but realignment is probably a better word. I've had to realign my priorities in terms of, you know, I can't do the things for you that I want to be able to do if I don't take care of making sure I can even keep the electricity on, so I can even have my computer to even do the work, right? This is the reality. Don't forget, I've got all my stuff on my desk here, so I can't use my normal mic, so it keeps falling off. Oh, what a disaster. What a disaster. But is it a disaster? No, it's not. I'm sure everything happens for a reason. Despite the challenges, even trying to get this live show running tonight, to get all my lab stuff out of the way of my desk and stuff was... And now this window keeps crashing. It's like really ironic, and then here you all are with just a super casual thing, and now I don't even have my live window open anymore. Come on, what's going on today? Everything's crashed. I do apologize. I just got a thing saying my browser window just ran out of RAM or something. I got 64 gig of RAM, so clearly that's not enough apparently. Just trying to get the chat window back there. Sorry, everyone. This is the problem when you completely just do a live with no preps. And I'm supposed to be a prepper. Okay, we're back. Sorry. I feel so disorganized. I didn't even bother putting any keywords, any tags or anything in this video. I didn't even schedule it on Discord like I normally would. I literally just wanted to say hi, everyone, and just to let you know, I care about you all very deeply. I'm thinking about you all the time, and everything that I'm doing behind the scenes, you'll see soon, and you'll likey, I hope. No money thing is still a thing in some... Is it in some states in the States? Interesting, yeah. I'm sure there are some communities who, you know, April Fool like me, zero prep, you know, yes, April Fools is not April Fools. Well, do you know, okay, just so you know, and I'm sure Band Again already knows this, but the reason they call it April Fool's Day was because when they changed New Year from being the April the 1st, which is most logically why it's the new year, because it's the start of spring, everything springs to life, things come out of hibernation, they come to life, the flowers come out, the birds start, right? It's when things start. So that used to be New Year's Day, but then when they switched it out and they made it January and they took a month out, made it 12 instead of 13 months and stuff like that, instead of just having 28 days and 13 months and 4 weeks, 28 days, right? 4 7s, 28. Everything used to line up perfectly. 13 months. They whipped a month out, moved all the days of the date, numbers of days of the month around, and made it the 1st of January. Well, if people still celebrated New Year's Day on the 1st of April, the propaganda at the time was designed to force people to call them a fool for still celebrating New Year on the 1st of April. That's how much of a, what's the word? Motivation the powers that be had to do what they did to the calendar. And if I told you why they did it, believe me, you wouldn't believe me. Right? That's it. Pettigrew Mongrel wouldn't have house that. April New Year, but you're a fool if you still celebrating it. That's it. Was it 1752? I think it was before that. Because I think it was the Julian calendar, the Julius Caesar. Was it? Because they call it the Julian. Like, as a software programmer, for example, you have to use the Julian time, which is 4,557 BC, is it? I might be a few hundred years out on that, but something like that. But I'll have to look it up to get the exact date of where, of when they actually changed it. It wasn't me, says Cypher to Cypher. Brilliant. Wow, thank you so very much. So I'll tell you what, right? Like I say, it's like nearly an hour, and I'm at least going to see if I can... I got to at least see if I can make it not an hour, because it's obviously more than half an hour. So I'm going to try doing it as just, 45 BC, was it? Full Julius Caesar ordered a calendar consisting of 12 months based on a solar year. This calendar employed a cycle of 3 years of 365 days. And I think he ran out of room. So is it 45 BC? Not 4,500 BC? Well, maybe I'm thinking of the start of the Julian calendar is 4,500 and something BC, I think you'll find. Because I have to use that in programming when I'm doing things like using the radius of Earth to calculate sunset time based on a GPS location and a date, a UTC timestamp. You can create things like, you have to refer to the Julian calendar to do that. Clunk Click, every trip was the same social engineering program. You demonize those who don't change their ways. Yeah, you conform or not. So I tell you what, I'm the one who needed the hello, and so thank you. I really appreciate your being here to welcome me online so beautifully the way you have. I've missed you so bad. It's only been 10 days, but I get this real bad anxiety when I'm not making videos, and I get even more anxiety when I think about doing a video when I'm in the mess I'm in, and my office and my lab is all over the place with what I'm trying to build for you guys at the moment. It's just a nightmare, and I think, oh god, I can't because of this, because of that, but then if I don't, it's like, oh, I get this anxiety. I really need to find a way of not caring, but I find it really difficult not to care. I wish I could just, Anyway, there's not been much value in this at all, and it's not a prepping video or anything like that. I just wanted to connect with the wolf pack because, you mean so much to me, and I just don't really... And I'm sorry for just spieling out loud my whole thing about, the money being a toxic thing and having to realign my relationship with money to try and sort my situation out. It's the only way it's going to happen. Trying to pretend that money's evil rather than a necessary tool. And the route to freedom really is through sheets. Because if you have sheets, you get to choose things. The worst lack of freedom is just not having the freedom of choice, right? Because that's what freedom comes down to, is having the freedom of choice. Even down to what food you eat. Are you eating cheap food that's like full of chemicals and preservatives and God knows what in there because you can't afford the good stuff? You see? Like, we haven't had meat for 3 months. Yeah, like as in steak or anything like that. So when you've got sheets, you can choose, you get to choose. You get freedom of choice. You can choose even what you eat. Today, all I've had is honey on toast. Has been my entire calorie intake today. Apart from tea. I've had lots of tea. I will probably try and have to go and find something in the cupboard now to eat. I might have a banana or something, right? But it's having that choice. choosing where you live. People are obviously, a lot of people are complaining about the West, complaining, well, the UK particularly, obviously voted as the second most depressing country on the planet. And I can attest to that. And everyone that I speak to in England as well can attest to that. And so again, that financial freedom gives you that freedom again. Why? Because you get the freedom to choose. If you don't like it, then go somewhere else, right? But if you don't have the sheets, how? Yeah. Because I don't hear people who are financially successful complaining about life. I don't hear people who are financially successful complaining about their bills. I don't hear people who are financially successful complaining about inflation. Do you see? So is it an inflation problem, or is it I'm not earning enough money problem? So I guess this is the most basic principles of economics that I've had to come to terms with, right? And you would think, you know, at the age of like 48 years old, yeah, I know I only look 30, but you know, to go that long in life, yeah, to just finally accept that, you know what, I can't make this happen without making sure, you know, the financial element is there in place so that you have, you know, even the ability to do it, let alone to the point where you have the financial freedom. And I think this is where the prepping community, we all come unstuck. I mean, I specialize on trying to help people prep on a budget. That's why most of my stuff is all homemade and self-designed. And a lot of it relies on more like, you know, being strategic and being tactical in your approach. Because that makes up for not having loads of money to have some compound somewhere with like, you know, 35 years worth of supply of mountain house or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's just not realistic. People like Wrangler Star, if you know him, right, who became very successful on YouTube and, you know, has got everything you can imagine, got his own JCBs, got his own diggers, got his own like warehouse and his own forest full of wood, right? The most ultimate prepping scenario you can imagine. Yeah. And for mere mortals like us, we can't possibly imagine something like that. But instead, we get a few extra tins here and there. And, you know, there's a few big investments I've made along the way, like my off-grid power system. And again, even that I built myself. So, you know, so I could have it, get a bigger bang for the buck, you know, in terms of what I can build. And so I guess there comes a point in time where you just gotta be realistic about what is really important when it comes to prepping. And I think financial prepping is really important, and those who have been financially prepared are seeing the benefits now, where cost of living has become so impossible for so many people. Those who have been preparing ahead of time, even just not even purposefully, but, you know, they've had some surplus funds and they've made sure they've been responsible and disciplined enough to make sure they're always putting something away. That's the best form of prepping. People say, oh, you can't eat money, obviously, right? But I'm just saying, in terms of the amount of people who I've seen talking about how when there was somebody going on about, oh, preppers are crazy, blah, 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 right? And there was a woman in the chat of this video who was saying, well, hold on a minute. Like, because it's like, oh, these things never happen. Her husband was a major prepper, right? And he had an accident at work and he broke like C4, wherever C4 is, like one of his neck spine things or something, right? And he was like completely couldn't work, right? And while he was going along, you know, they were preparing, they had lots of food put by because he was a bit of a prepper. She wasn't really that into it. When he had his accident, he was off work for something like 6 months. And she said if they hadn't have had their preps, they would not have survived that 6 months. It's got nothing to do with like earthquakes or solar flares or grid down or war kicking off. It can just be as simple as being out of work because of an accident that wasn't even your fault. And if they hadn't have had those preparations there, if they hadn't have had all that food, if they hadn't have had all those, like she went on about how they had like 6 months worth of shampoo. She didn't even have to buy shampoo for 6 months because of the way they had prepared. And of course, you know, it's not ideal where you're using all your preps for something like your husband's had an accident. But my point is that being a prepper is not just about, you know, being some conspiracy theorist and thinking that the shit's going to hit the fan every 5 minutes. like some people would have you convinced. I'm not going to mention any names, but right, you know what I'm talking about. It's more real than that, you know? It's more real than that. Me and Magic Hand have used half of our preps already in the last 6 months that we've struggled, right? Bits and pieces here and there. A couple of bars of soap. Can't afford to buy a bar of soap this week, so on the shopping list, because it's that or a packet of, you know, food. So luckily, we can pull a few bars of soap out the cupboard, you know? It's like quite expensive now. It adds up. These little things add up. So, you know, being prepared isn't just about, you know, being some paranoid, what do you call it? There's a number of things that can happen in people's lives that can just turn their lives upside down. And if they didn't have the preparations they've got, they would never have got through those hard times. So I think when I see stories like this and I, you know, and of course, you know, being in this space anyway, for so many years, I have lots of people come to me with their own stories about how their preps have saved them and their families in times of crisis that aren't the sorts of crisis that most people are actually prepping for. And so, yeah, I think that can also be included with, like I say, the being financially prepared, right? When shit hits the fan and something happens or they lose the job, that's the other equivalent, isn't it? You know, you've got the financial preps there to see you through, to tide you over until you sort something out, until you get that fixed or get that sorted or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of, you know, it's really obvious stuff, but I'm just saying that I think that financial preparedness needs to be a bigger part of what I talk about, because that's my biggest lacking. When people say, oh, what's your weakness, Drew? It's like, I don't really have a weakness in prepping. I'm not really passionate about food, even though I've got seeds, I've got microgreens, I've got all of everything ready to go for microgreens when the button gets pushed. But I'm not passionate about food. I'm quite happy with honey on toast. I'm quite happy with just a tin of beans raw out of the can. Like when I was bodybuilding back in the day, I would just eat tin of beans raw out of the can. I'll just, you know, crack some eggs into some milk and, you know, whisk it up in the blender and just glug, glug, glug raw. When I was in bodybuilding, you do these things, right? You just, food becomes something that is just a function rather than something you enjoy. I know not many people are like that for me, but I'm just saying I'm not passionate about food. So I usually say to people, oh, my biggest weakness is I don't really have like loads of gardens. I don't know much about planting. I can't think of the right word that would be most descriptive, but like Magic Hand's pretty good around the garden, but I'm just not that, I'm not that educated in growing food. It's a really, really difficult thing if you think you're going to grow food to the point where you're going to live on it. Yeah. And so, but I think really, if I'm brutally honest, thinking about it over the last sort of few months that this has been, I've been experiencing certain things. I think really now I would say no. I think my biggest weakness as a prepper is actually more my lack of ability to have prepared financially for these hard times, right? And to just be running on fumes for the last 3 years trying to like drag this company off the floor that YouTube keeps putting the boot on its neck to keep it on the floor. And again, that's, you know, that's my oversight, and that's something I need to address, but it means it's something I need to share with you out loud as well for the other people who maybe don't think that is quite as important. 6 months of conditioner too, don't forget. Rich people seem to complain the most, do you reckon? Well, do you know, this is the funny thing, isn't it? Because I, you know, with my years in pretty high level business, believe me, I met a lot of rich people, especially living in places like Cyprus, Thailand. A lot of the expats that you'll meet and business entrepreneurs, they've got a lot of investments and a lot of interests in a lot of countries, particularly in Asia. You know, I had a lot of Chinese friends who were super, super switched on. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that because I'm doing it again. 1752 flame that lasts for 100 hours might be useful. The basics are all that matter right now when it comes to prepping in this climate. Even if you only have the basics, you're better chance than 90% of the population, including the rich. The mindset, yes, absolutely, absolutely. I think it's I don't think you've got to be doing, you know, crazy things to have pretty good leverage and pretty good force multipliers, to be honest. So, you know. Anyway, I've got to try and get this desk sorted out before I do the next proper show for you guys. So do look out for that. Thank you to those, again, who have joined on the Discord server. Really appreciate your friendship on there and your contribution. It's a great knowledge base for preppers in terms of all of the prepping intel there. Thank you to everybody who's contributing to that. It's a lovely place to go and check out and the stuff that you can learn. Thank you to our newest signer-uppers. Obviously Tia's me. It's not me, it's Tia. But Random Warrior and Bod High, thank you so very much for joining. Really appreciate it. Got lots coming on there as well. So I'm going to rock and roll. I'll do a... did you say eggs? I hope they come from registered chickens. So yeah, I'll be... circus tent, by the way. For those who know what I'm talking about. Just brief, promise. But yeah, thank you so very much for being patient with me. Like I said, I didn't really have a plan of anything. I just wanted to say I'm here, I'm all right. I'm just working on this stuff still. I'm working through it and it's a proper struggle. So bear with me, and then here you all are. And thank you so much for being such a wonderful bunch. I don't even know what to say. I'm super taken back. I'm kind of in shock. It just seems like you guys really seem to know when I'm in the worst situation I can be. It's amazing. So thank you so very much. I didn't really intend for this to be some hour-long thing about me moaning about shit. I'll see what's going on with this video, because I'm looking at the thing and I don't even know if the playback's going to work on this. I'll have to see what it's like after. If this video isn't there tomorrow, I've got a feeling... I know why. I'm a little bit concerned at the moment. This is why I keep looking over here, because it's like... Anyway, I'll figure it out. But thank you so very much. I really appreciate you all. I'd love to catch up with Kazza this week if you're about, by the way. Thank you so much for DSEC as well. What an absolute superstar. Ethan G, don't know what to say. Full of hope. Main babe, right? I mean, you're all such a wonderful lot. I literally couldn't be here at all without you. But liked and shared, hashtag on Twitter. Thanks for the generosity tonight. Thank you so very much. Oh, talk with the devil, look. Traveling Sapper, great to see you. I'll say again, thank you so very much for your support, man. I really appreciate becoming a member and being there on Discord and stuff like that. I really appreciate you. So thank you so very much, everyone. You've been such a wonderful bunch. I'm super touched. And I'm sorry tonight hasn't all been about prepping and survival, Warzone Wednesday and stuff like this. But I think what I will be doing next Wednesday, the plan is for Warzone Wednesday, is for doing a recap on the last 6 episodes. And we'll figure out what the next episode you want to be about will be, right? So you should get Cypher to Cypher, got a new Molly 2 assault pack, new toys. I tell you what, get it over on the Discord server, man. We've got a whole section there because I'll tell you what I'm trying to push at the moment, dude, which would be good, is the Preppers Progress. Because if we can get some Preppers Progress in there for next week, sorry, for the first, which is where we'll have the ultimate Prepper show. This green tick thing here with the Preppers Progress, the idea with this is if you've got yourself some new toys or you've done some cool preps or you've built your garden, you know, vegetable beds and stuff like that, built yourself a poly tunnel, whatever it might be, please share it over on the Discord server, specifically the Preppers Progress, because that is actually a formal segment here on Sigma Prepper, which we usually do as part of the Ultimate Sigma Prepper show on the 1st of every month. So it'd be lovely to kick that back off for this year and start really acknowledging people's achievements and some of the progress that people are making in their preps, and again inspiring other people and motivating other people and helping other people when it comes to the things that you've got, the things that you've done, and how you went about it, and what to avoid and things like this. It's extremely useful information, so thank you to those that are helping to contribute to that. Definitely much needed gathering, Sandy. Thank you so very much to our moderators tonight. Really appreciate it. Pedigree Mongrel, Sandy, and of course Daily Survival, moderator for all moderators. And Urban Harvesting. See you, mate. Lovely to see you, Urban. We'll catch up in the next couple of days, dude, if you're about. I did say earlier in the show before you were there, you were one of the people I meant to catch up with last week, or during this week. You and Kaza and Purple Flurple I wanted to catch up with as well. And Noelle Marie, and particularly Connie. So I've just not been in contact with anyone the last week or two. I feel really bad, but yeah, I really appreciate you all. Thank you so very much. You're such a wonderful bunch. Please do hit the like button on the way out. It doesn't really make much difference, but it does. So you might as well rather than not. But yeah, super touched, everyone. Thank you so very much. It makes it so much easier for me to, you know. Anyway, just know that you're loved. And I shall see you super soon. Thank you to everyone. I've been Drew. You've been wonderful. Please hit like if you want to. But in the meantime, thank you so much to Ethan. Thank you, D-Sec. Thank you to everyone. Thank you, Full of Hope. Thank you.
Reject the herd, prepare the pack. Click the like button, it's as easy as that. Check the description for the links you need. Follow my socials, subscribe to my feed. From a single lone woman to a family of 5. Learn from Sigma Prepper and see how you can thrive. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a wolf pack thing. Reject the herd, prepare the pack. Click the like button, it's as easy as that. Check the description for the links you need. Follow my socials, subscribe to my feed.